Hello! In this video we're going to talk about why people get stuck with weight loss, which inevitably leads to them falling off. And I don't want that to happen to you, so I'm going to tell you what it is and how to overcome it. So there's usually two reasons that people get stuck or fall off the wagon. The first one is they're doing the same thing they were doing a few months ago, and the second one is they're not being as consistent as they could be, even though they think they are. So let's talk about the consistency thing first, because that's the most important. Now, if you're stuck, you need to go back to tracking what you're doing. And I mean tracking your exercise, tracking your food. I'm not talking you need to track it forever, but you need to track it accurately for a few days so you know whether you're being consistent or not. You see, our memory, our perception of things, it's very fallible, meaning it's false. Okay, we remember what we want to remember. You know, we forget certain things. Our perception is biased on what we want to see. So if we're not accurately tracking, then you're just guessing. So that's the first thing. And if you look at your tracking and you're not being consistent, then that's the problem. However, if you're being consistent, then you need to look back over the last 3 months and go, am I doing the same thing as I was 3 months ago? And if that's the case, then it needs to change. Because as your body changes, your needs change. What you have to do changes. You can't keep doing the same thing as what you were doing when you were 10 kgs, 20 kgs heavier. It's not going to work for you anymore. So that has to change. And one of the only ways you're going to know if you need to change or if things are working is if you're progress tracking. So you need to be taking your progress tracking regularly. And I'm not just talking about the scales here. I'm talking about measurements, clothes size, pictures, fat percentage. You want to get as much data as you can so you have a better picture idea of what's going on. Please do not rely on the scales for this, as they can lie to us. I refer to them as the devil's tool. Okay? And the last part of this equation is the consistency thing again. Is if you're not motivated, if you get complacent, if you're not focused, then it's really easy to fall backwards. It's really easy for old habits to get back in there, and it's really easy to lose motivation. So you should be reviewing your goals and why you want to achieve them on a regular basis to keep this switched on, to keep focused, to keep you wanting to move forward. Okay, and that's it. So let me just quickly rephrase to make sure we're both on the same page. You need to be regularly tracking your progress to make sure you're making progress, right? And you want to do that by weight, measurements, fat percentage, clothes size, photos. If you get stuck, have a look. Go back to tracking your food and your exercise and see if it's consistent. If it's consistent, make sure you're not doing the same things you were 3 months ago. And if you were, change it up. If it's not consistent according to your tracking, not your head, then you need to make sure it is consistent and then go back to your progress tracking to see if that was the problem. And remember to go back over your goals regularly so you stay focused, it stays front of mind, you know that it's important, and it gives you purpose and drive. And that's it. If you've got any questions, let me know. Start tracking today. Let's go!